Life's a lot like racing. You're either wide open or thrashing in the pits, just trying to keep it rolling. I'm Jeff, better known as the Boss Man.
And I'm Candice, the boss lady. Together, we're race parents, business owners, homeschool teachers, and somehow just still trying to find time to be us. This is good at getting by.
Where the green flag drops on family, racing, and real life.
All right, first episode. I'm excited.
Me too.
This is going to be fun.
It is. I think sometimes we lead a chaotic, somewhat interesting life. And
Yes.
so,
Why not share it with the world?
yeah, why not?
Why not?
We'll give it a shot.
Let our embarrassment and dumb decisions be your humor for the day or
For
the
sure.
week or whatever.
For sure. So sit back, grab a cold drink, and just hang out for a good laugh, hopefully. So let's get into it. Candace, what's one word?
First of all, you say my name and it sounds really weird coming out of your mouth.
Well, I mean,
You don't call me by my name.
I understand that, but,
It's
you know,
weird. I know we're trying to be professional. All right, continue.
what's one word you'd use to describe our life right now?
Fast. Oh, that was a good one, right?
That was a good one.
I did not prepare, by the way. That is a good one. What made you decide that Good at Getting By was the perfect name for our podcast?
Well, our favorite band is Cashed Out. Uh, One of my favorite songs by them is Good Again By. Check it out, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you download your music. Check it out. They're awesome. They actually have given us permission for a year to use their song as our intro and outro. So shout out to them. That's awesome. We really do appreciate that. Um,
For sure.
yeah, we've seen you guys several times in concert, and you guys are awesome. So thank you again. But um, and that just describes us. I mean, we're good at getting by, right? Like,
You you can't ask any more out of us, okay?
no,
Like we're just good at getting by.
yeah. And so, if anybody knows my past in the past 2 years, past 4 years, uh, we've just been good at getting by. And so, um, we've had boats named that. So I just think it was fitting for us to say, hey, that's the name of our show.
I agree.
What's something people think they know about us, but they've got totally wrong?
Ooh.
So you want to know what I think?
Yeah, please help. And then
So I think people that don't know us, right, that are new to our life, new to, our group, they think we got
money.
money.
Yeah, that's that's where I was going with it.
So what is the hardest part and the best part about running a business together?
Ooh. The hardest part, I think, is the who's the real boss situation, right? Like I sometimes overstep my bounds, and even though you are the boss, um, I push that sometimes. So I think that's probably the hardest part for me. The best part is that we spend even more time together, and people think that's nuts, but we, I don't know, we spend all of our time together,
Yes, we do.
business. So I think that's, to me, that's the best part because we just spend even more time together.
Agreed.
What moment made you realize that Alliance Pavers of North Florida, soon to be Blackwater Hardscapes, could actually be something big? When did you like, oh dang, you know what? I could maybe do something with this.
Well, we're still in that stage, so we'll see how that goes. But Um, I don't know. I guess a better answer would be um, what made us like pick this location. Um, I think that had more to do with our decision that we could do something um, because we are generally located, in the middle of everywhere that we work within an hour. And so I think that helps being able to not just be stuck to one small area, but instead be able to go and chase bigger work other places. I think that is what sets us apart as how many companies out there don't want to go to Daytona or
Right.
don't want to go to Jacksonville or don't want to go to Gainesville or don't want to go to Ocala, where we're right in the middle. So I think that helps, you know, us with our growth.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
as Putnam County grows, right? Because growth is coming. So as it grows, I think that's going to make it that much more.
Yeah.
It takes money here to make money here. So as the people move and people find out about our little hidden gem that we stumbled upon 4 years ago, um, I think it'll come in time. You know,
Yeah, of course.
um, when things get hectic, what's your go-to move to bring the chaos back down?
I scream and then I cry and then I calm down a little and you know, I scream and then I cry and then I'm okay usually. I sleep it off. I have no, that's a horrible question. Horrible question.
Well, you also will go for a bike ride at the end of the day.
I will go for a bike ride. That is true.
Take your dolly dog for a little run.
I do take the dolly girl for a run every day. It's our thing.
So, I think that is maybe how. So let's move on to another side of us. If you can tell from the flag behind me, if you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby, the hat, B7 Racing, uh, the shirt. Kind of sucks that he didn't make the playoffs today, but
Ugh.
the final eight, he gave it a good try. Um, I can honestly say that's probably one of the first times I've ever seen somebody intentionally cross the finish line in reverse,
That
trying.
was a Ricky Bobby move.
That
I think
was,
that's what Sage said. What is he trying to be Ricky
I
Bobby?
think that was a Ricky Bobby move for sure.
But he did what he felt like he had to do. He didn't know that it was too late, like, right?
Right.
That he had already lost those spots.
But I think if Denny would have known, he would have not passed him.
Oh yeah, didn't he say that
Yeah,
in like the post race interview?
yeah.
I would like to think that he would, but
I agree.
you know,
He couldn't have a Logano baby, so
we don't nobody wants a nobody wants a Logano anything.
but yeah, so a little bit about, another side of us is that um we run a race team, B7 Racing and Driver Development here, based out of, Northeast Florida. And so Sage runs an outlaw wing cart in the beginner class. I run an outlaw wing cart in the open class, and we also have a outlaw champ buggy class that we are in the process of starting. I promote several different kids racing series throughout Florida and South Georgia, um, and so that's kind of our passion when we're not working or you know hanging out here on the B7. We're chasing checkers. So, um, how do you feel the first time you watched Sage take that green flag?
As a mom's point of view, I was a little nervous just because I wasn't too sure about how it all worked, right? Like I was, still I still feel new to the racing world, but I think I'm learning a lot and getting there. But I can't describe the emotion of seeing his face when he was done. I loved watching him go round and round, and he did so good and he held his own. But when I saw his face when he came off the track,
Mhm.
that was when I was like, okay, we're going to do this.
Mhm.
This is what we're going to do from now on.
Yeah, I'd agree. That was definitely a moment to witness.
Yeah. So what about you? What's one weekend memory that's like one race that still gives you goosebumps?
His first win.
Yeah.
It was the first track he raced at too. Just at different times, obviously. Um, he podium came in third his first race, and that kind of was like, okay, maybe, maybe he knows what he like. This might be what he's destined to do, right?
Right.
Um, but when he got that first win, he was just over the moon. He got out of his cart and gave me a great big hug, and I was like, I'm so proud of you, buddy." The people next to us, they were congratulating him,
Hmm.
and so, I just think that that's the moment that I still like,
Yeah.
him getting out of that cart and wrapping his arms around me and just
Right. You can't
so
beat that.
excited. Right. No. And then I think maybe the second would be um, the first time I raced, and he walked up to me and told me good luck and gave me a fist bump, and he was the first one there when I come off the track and was like, "Dad, you was ripping it." Like he was my biggest fan that night,
Oh
and
yeah.
so those two are really they're a hard, that's a hard one for me to say, but I think those two.
Yeah.
If Sage wasn't racing, what do you think we would be doing with all of our weekends?
Hmm. Well, I don't know if I'm being honest. We would be into something. Maybe we would paddleboard a little bit more. We might be out on the river. I don't know. I really don't. We enjoy paddle boarding, so maybe that, or maybe e-biking,
Yeah, yeah.
whitewater rafting, going to the mountains more. Um,
I would agree.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Mm,
I'm good with racing every weekend. I love it.
yep, me too.
Um, what's something about like being a race dad that nobody warned you about?
Hmm. Do you want the honest answer, or
Absolutely.
do
I
you
want
want?
no, no. I don't want the wussy version. I want the straight out.
Um, I would say the drama. Like we have our oldest daughter. As, some of you may know she played travel softball and rec league softball, and so if you've been in any type of little league or Babe Ruth or Nolan Ryan league or
Any of them.
any of them, right? You've probably experienced the same that we're talking about, but um, more of you know grown adults that's at the track racing and get butt hurt over a parking spot. That's the drama that I'm just like, really, you know. Um, the parent drama with running a series or being a series promoter. I mean, that comes with it. So, I mean, that was to be expected. But um, I think the other, you know, and the time spent on the cart, like right, a go kart. You're like, oh, it's a go kart. No.
Mm.
So I thank God we have John to
Yeah,
to,
absolutely.
to keep that thing top notch. Because if it was up to me, uh, we'd be in trouble.
We'd make it work. But yes, John is 100% a blessing.
Yes, I agree. What keeps our family grounded when life starts spinning faster than the cart tires?
Ah. I would say a Sunday off. Probably. I would say Sundays are kind of our reset days. We do groceries. I do the laundry for the week. Like we try to get everything situated before Monday. We're usually in and out of this room, recording on Sundays, watching the race. And I think Sundays are our reset. I think that's what's needed for us. Even if it's not every Sunday, I feel like at least every other Sunday, it's important for us to at least be home in the morning time sometime where we have the afternoon to
Right.
kind of chill out and just be normal.
Yeah, I think a good home cooked meal on a Sunday night is important.
Yes, I do too. Yeah, that's always nice. Um, Speaking of Sunday dinners, my that's my favorite family tradition. But what's a family tradition of yours that you hope our kids do, you know?
Um, I don't know. I would say mm, hunting or you know my mom's recipes. I I hope those kind of stay a family tradition and don't get given out just like she did. I hope that you know Sage continues to hunt as an adult and passes it down to his kids, and if Trinity when she has kids, and hopefully we can introduce them to the great outdoors. I really think that's a big thing in any kid's life is getting them outside, getting them off the video games, getting them out in front of the TV, and getting them out and just doing something where they're, whether it's hunting, fishing, camping, biking, just get them outside.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Florida right now has a um, hunting and fishing, camping tax uh, deal where it's tax free till the end of the year.
That's super cool. I had no idea that, like, we did that.
It is cool. In Putnam County here where we live, outdoors is everything. I mean, you can't really pass a truck in town without a dog box in the back during hunting season or a tree stand or, something, fishing poles, a boat, the St. Johns River here is, right now they're catching shrimp and it's brackish water. And so that's kind of crazy to see that, so, it's really cool that Florida has all these different outdoor activities that literally you can do whatever you want to do, even skiing in certain times of the year you want to play in snow.
Hmm.
Somebody will make it somewhere. But Florida really is unique in that way. So um, I really hope that our kids carry on the outdoors tradition and you know what it means to my family and your family. You know, um, I think that's a big part.
Yeah.
What's one thing you learned about parenting from being out at the track every weekend?
Oh, why are you skipping?
Well, oops.
You don't want the other question?
No, go ahead. Sorry. Who's the stricter parent and who's the softie? I didn't even, I just
That
skipped
worked
right
out so
over it.
perfectly. That could not have worked out any better. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I love you. You are definitely the stricter parent, and I am definitely the softie. And
100%.
it just is what it is. And it's not ever going to change. It's, I support you as much as I possibly can. You support me as much as you possibly can, and we make it work.
Yep, for sure.
What's one thing that you've learned about parenting from being out at the track every weekend? Oh my gosh, I wish you would have asked me this now because I hope your answer is the same as mine. But go.
Um, Patience. Patience is a virtue when you're at the racetrack. One, and if anybody knows me, I have a logistics background, so when it comes to loading trailers and unloading trailers,
Just stay out of his way.
stay out
That
of my
is your
way.
best bet.
Right. I am particular about the way things get loaded and the way things get strapped down. And so, but also just learning to deal with Sage and how to be patient with him and how to respond to him to where I'm not yelling constantly and to where he still like he gets it right because as soon as I yell, he shuts down. So, uh, just trying to stay patient.
Yeah.
Um, that's I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned.
The biggest thing I've learned about parenting is that some of these kids need their butts beat.
Yes, that too.
That's what I've learned. But that's none of my business because they're not my kids. So,
Yep.
moving on.
If you could hit the pause button on life for a day, what would your perfect nothing to do day look like?
Hmm. I'm gonna say it's nice outside and we go for a bike ride around some ponds and in the woods and I just want to be in the forest. Just let me go be a forest creature. That sounds good. I don't know.
All right. Forest creature. Duly noted.
Write that down.
Got my pen.
What's a wild idea that you've had that actually worked out? Don't say marry me.
Mm,
That was pretty wild of you, but
yeah. Um, I don't know. Well,
you're not really a wild guy.
I say I'm not. Yeah. And nothing. If it was too wild, it didn't work out. Um,
Right.
but so far, I'd say, and it really didn't even work out. But I think getting out of Osceola County,
Yeah, it did work out.
it did. And I sacrificed a lot for it.
Of course you did.
Um, but I think overall, um, I think that's one thing because I know that if we would have stayed there, we wouldn't have been happy.
Hmm.
You,
Absolutely.
you know, um, and when we came here, it was like a reset button.
Yes.
So, I feel like if I had to say, that was probably the wildest thing that I've ever, left friends and family and everything I'd known for 38 years. And
Yeah. And then losing your parents after we moved up here and they moved up here. And that was part of the sacrifice. And I think that, well, I'm sure you feel the same way, but I am grateful that they were able to experience up here and know that we all got out before it was too late for them, you know?
yeah, yeah, I agree. Um, my mom and dad, they didn't like it there anymore. Same as we didn't. Dad always wanted to have a place of his own and, property that he didn't have neighbors and, you know, So I think that, we were able to, give that to him his last 6 months, in the last year, whatever it was. I think that was the biggest thing, is we did it for him. You know, it wasn't after he left. He was, a part of that.
Right.
And, that's the one thing that is hard about this place is that, everything here he did. He had a hand in almost everything. There's not a story that I don't tell the guys or, somebody that just comes to hang out for the weekend. Something that always leads back to the story about, mom or dad or, just whatever. So, um, yeah, I would say that getting out of Osceola County was about it worked out.
Yeah, that was wild.
So who's more likely to start a project at 10 p.m. because it'll only take a minute? Me.
Yeah, that's. I am in bed by 10 o'clock. No questions asked. I am in bed. It's not happening. So unless it's embroidery or crocheting that I'm doing in the bed, it's not me. It's definitely all you.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten up out of bed to go take something out of the race trailer and put it in the other trailer, go get something out of the shop or get something out of my work truck, or because if not, I'm going to lay there all night
It's gonna drive you nuts.
and I won't be able to go to sleep until I just go do it real quick.
Okay. That has to be like no fun. What's something that I do that drives you crazy, but you secretly think it's adorable? I don't think any such thing exists. So I'm gonna be surprised.
Um, hmm. So I say, and you don't even know that you do it.
Oh no, I hate things like this. You're about to point something out and I'm gonna obsess over it for weeks.
Probably because we're getting ready to go to Georgia. So
Oh no.
the only good thing is you won't see anybody, so you won't have the time to do it. But when you get around like people from Georgia or North Carolina, you start to talk like them. When we used to go out to Arkansas to see Mandy, when you would get around her, you used to talk just like everybody else out there.
Oh my
Or
goodness. That's too funny because
when we go to Georgia, when we leave, if you hang out with Lance for any amount of time, when we leave, you talk just like her for a good 2 days.
that's so funny. Well, I'm sorry it drives you crazy, but I'm glad you think it's adorable.
Well, it used to drive me crazy. Now I just laugh
Oh,
when you do it because it's like, you don't even know you do it. Honestly.
I do not. I
Hmm.
do not. All right. So real fast before we leave our first episode, hopefully you guys got to know us a little bit. I think maybe, if there's anything else you guys want to know, hit us up. I'll put my email address at the bottom. Bosslady@goodatgettingby.com. Love it. But before we leave, we're gonna do a checkered flag quick fire round, okay? So I'm just gonna blurt out some stuff and then you tell me your answer and I'll tell you mine. Early bird, this is so, if anybody knows us, okay, but this is for the people that don't know us, Candice. All right. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
I am neither because I like to go to bed early, but I do not like to get up.
That is true.
Listen, guys, I may or may not be 41 years old and going through a bit of the change. So I just really like to sleep.
We like to say you have an old soul.
An old soul.
Hmm.
I like that. I like that. All right. We know you're an early bird.
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey or rum?
Whiskey.
Rum, but coconut rum, preferably.
I'd prefer the blackberry whiskey.
Of course.
Mm.
Who said I love you first?
Oh, was it me?
I am not sure.
Honestly, I don't remember.
I do not either. I have no idea. Well, we suck. Is
I'm
that
pretty.
something people remember?
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Probably, but when we were 7 doesn't count.
No. After the night you threw up in my truck.
That's a story for a whole nother day. We gotta
Yes.
ease these guys into it. Our listeners need to be eased into this. We can't just straight out with our first date nonsense.
Agreed. But we'll get there, I'm sure, one day.
We will get there. All right.
Stay
So we're
tuned.
gonna we're gonna say that you said I love you first, even though nobody's really for certain about
Sure.
that.
We'll go with it. Beach or mountains?
Mountains, right? Why do we live in Florida?
Right.
I have no idea why we live here.
Yeah, no.
So close to the beaches, and we took Sage to the beach not too long ago. A few weeks ago, we had an off day, and we took him to the beach, and it was
But now, hold on. Let's stop for a second because Sage, he's 9. We live an hour from the beach, and he's been to the beach and walked down it twice, but has never physically been in the ocean.
not true. Callie took him
Okay.
boogie boarding.
Yeah. Okay. But that was when he was little.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago. He was like 5, I think.
So he wasn't. Yeah. So we don't count that. But he's been to the beach a handful of times, and so continue.
He hated it. That was it. That was my point. He absolutely did not like it, not even one little bit. And I'm okay with it. I have no desire to go get sand. Oh my gosh. I would so much rather be in a mountain, creek, river, stream. I don't care. I would
I would
rather
agree.
be in the mountains.
I would agree with you on that.
100%. I have no idea why we live in Florida, but that's probably for a whole nother.
You know, the funny thing is that we went to the beach, and it was a last minute thing. You didn't even have a swimsuit.
I
So
forgot about that.
we bought you a swimsuit, spent all this money on this kid to have a boogie board and this and that, and then literally spent 5 seconds in the water and was
Not
like,
even. I got a bathing suit. I didn't even get in.
he was like, I'm good. We can go. I don't need any. I'm good. Which is funny because I used to be a beach rat, and now the beach is just seashells and fish poop. It's not. I don't.
Seashells and fish poop.
I have no desire.
No, I don't either. It's so weird because I don't know. I feel like everybody in my family just loves the beach. I mean, I have cousins that moved to Hawaii. That's how much they love the beach. I just, I would rather be in the mountains. I don't know.
100.
All right. Who's more competitive? I don't know. I think that's a toss up.
I don't know. I'm pretty competitive.
I know, but yeah, I don't know.
That's a close one.
It's close. You probably edge me out a little bit, but yeah, that's probably
Who drives better?
definitely you. We're not even gonna argue about it. We're just gonna say that you do.
Well, it is on record.
It's on record, everybody.
The world has heard it.
Yes. Yes. Now, if he could just stop telling me how to drive from the passenger seat,
Nope.
then drive all the time.
I do.
Favorite track food? I already know what yours is. Let me guess. Can I guess?
Sure.
Walking taco.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it. What's mine?
French fries. Or if they got a chicken sandwich, you're gonna go chicken
Oh, I'm
sandwich.
always gonna hit the chicken sandwich. Always. But French fries most of the time. They don't usually have chicken sandwiches.
No. Where was that one track Oh, Marion, remember I got that walking taco and it was like the big bag? I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
holy cow, there's
Yeah, yeah. Is that where that was?
yeah,
I don't remember.
that's where that was. But yeah, you can't beat a good walking taco when you're at the track.
That's true. Biggest oops moment that turned into a laugh.
The night my airboat blew up.
I have like 500 of those. But yes, the night your airboat blew up was I don't that was do we count that as an oops?
Yeah, for sure. Because of the twisted T-cap that hit the prop, that was an oops. It shouldn't have went in the cage. That was an
Wait a
oops.
second. So that was my fault? The airboat blew up because of me.
That's what hit the radiator and put a hole in it. Yes. But I was also drinking them that night, so I don't know who, you know what I mean?
Wow. Shit just got real, you guys. Am I allowed to say that word?
Yeah,
I guess.
you can edit it out. You can bleep it out.
Yeah. I I'm yeah, I did not know that I could have possibly been the one. Maybe I trauma blocked it.
If I ever told you.
Maybe not. If you kept it to yourself, I'm proud of you because I wouldn't have.
But yeah, I think that was the biggest oops that turned into. I really wish, back then I was like, I'm glad it wasn't on video, but I really wish that
Yes.
you or mom or the other person that was with us,
Shall remain nameless.
yes, but I wish somebody would have videoed it because right now it would be.
I would love it if somebody magically appeared with a video. We were too busy like laughing, but not out loud because
It was a bad night.
it was a
Yeah.
bad one.
So, I mean, we can.
You got to tell the story.
So we were. I grew up, born and raised, running an airboat, doing guided gator hunts. You know, hog hunts, deer hunts, all that typical Florida man stuff. Um, and one night we went out. Just, I don't even think we were really planning on going out for a long ride. I think we were just going out to maybe cook dinner or hang out with some friends or whatever for a little bit. And we went to this spot, and when we left, and we come across the lake, and we was, I don't know, maybe a mile from where we were meeting everybody else at, and all of a sudden the boat just started breaking down, and as it come to a stop, the engine let out a kaboof, and smoke went everywhere, and so that was the start of what turned into be one of the longest nights on the lake. We didn't have but a little bitty dock rope to tie off to something if we needed to, but in no way, shape, or form was it you know, strong enough to pull an airboat through what we had to pull it through. And so we would pull it for a few feet, the rope would break, and I'd tie a knot into it, make it shorter and make it stronger, and double it and triple it and quadruple it just over and over and over. And we finally got to the lake. Finally got out of the river. That was literally, we had to have the rope so long that when the boat would drive, like Dad's boat was pulling mine, it would literally, the water would leave the trail and it would be sand. And we had to have the rope long enough to time it to where the water was back into the trail, because if not, the boat would get stuck. And so we finally get it out to the lake. And as we are, you know, breaking into the mouth there, Dad's boat just makes an immediate left turn into a mud tusset. And I was like, what is he doing? Right. And his steering broke. Um, yeah. And just to top the night off, right, the steering broke. So, you know, eh, JP pulled his boat up, what, 5 feet from Dad, but it was muck, and I was already waist deep in it. And so I told him, I said, get on my back, I'll carry you. And if you know my dad, he was 360, 380, just a big teddy bear, but he was a solid mass for sure. And he was like, no, you can't, and I said, well, we have no choice. You're not getting muddy. We got to get back to the boat ramp somehow. So just get on my back. And I was good until I had to pick my foot up out of the mud. And when I did, I started to fall back. And Dad had said, now I'm not getting muddy. And he made sure of that. As I fall backwards, he pushes me with all of his weight forward and face plants me into the mud. And then proceeds to stand up on my back and walk through the mud to JP's boat.
He was for sure not getting muddy.
He was not.
That was all he cared about.
When I stood up, all you could see was the whites of my eyes, because even my mouth was full of mud because I was yelling at him. Yeah, so that was a big oops. But looking back at it, he didn't get muddy.
He didn't get muddy. And let me tell you, we tell that story all the time. It's one of my favorite memories of your dad and you.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest oops that looking back now.
I agree.
Like, oops, those damn twisted teas got you again.
Got us again. Also a story for another time.
Yes, another story.
So we're going to let you guys go for now, but like, subscribe, share, follow along. We are going to be talking about racing. We're going to be talking about hunting. We're going to be talking about life in general, parenting, homeschooling, all sorts of things, all the things we're going to be talking about because we're good at getting by and we want to share how you can also be good at getting by.
Mm-hmm. So some weeks we're in victory lane, other weeks we're just patching things together with duct tape and a prayer.
But no matter what, we're still rolling because that's family, that's racing, and that's life. Thanks for listening to Good at Getting By.
Until next time, keep chasing checkers, keep loving your people, and remember, sometimes just getting by is winning.
Bye, guys.
Cause I got no beef with Chef Boy.